Good evening, everyone. Can I welcome everyone to this Town Council Parish meeting? We'll just get through some of the normal things that we do. Have we got any apologies?
Yes, I've got apologies from Councillor Lord and Councillor Howarth.
Anyone else?
Councillor Moffat.
Councillor Moffat, thank you. The next item is the declaration of interest. Has anyone got anything to declare that's on the agenda? No? Thank you. The fourth item is minutes of the meeting. We've got last year's minutes of the meeting. Has anyone got any questions on those minutes? No? Can I have a proposal and a seconder, please? I'll take Patricia. And I'll take Councillor Bell as a seconder. Thank you. All those in favour? Thank you. The next item is number 5, Town Council. So I'll hand over to our town clerk to give us a summary of what we've been up to.
Okay, so you'll have to forgive me as I've not had much chance to prepare, so I will be looking down at my notes quite a lot. So yeah, we have the town council has continued to grow year on year, and as such to a point that actually we're now part of the National Association of Local Councils Super Council Network. So yeah, so there you go. I don't actually know what that means. And we don't know what kind of benefits we get from that, but I'm sure it will present itself at some point. So the town council has continued its commitment to local community groups and charities. During the year, we actually didn't have as many grant funding awards as we normally do. I would always encourage people to, if there is something that they do need funding for, and if it's for the benefit of the town, that the small grant scheme is something to look at, definitely. So the last year we gave 4 small grant applications. One was to the Millennium Green Trust. That was to help with the security for their Sunsplash event. That's usually held in, is it June? Yeah. There's another one obviously coming up in June this year, isn't there? Also, we gave funding to the Little Theatre. This was towards emergency roof repairs that needed doing. We also gave an award to Colne Citadel, which was for various sets of window blinds in various different rooms. One being a counselling room, I think one was the cafe. And the last grant that we awarded was to Colne Junior Council, and that was to help with the transport for their trip to the Eco Village in Leyland. And you'll probably hear more about that later on in this meeting. But I think they had a really good time there. I think they learned quite a lot, which is good to see. They're all very enthusiastic, so yeah, it is lovely to go to the meetings, really. Right, so we also gave grants to the Alkincoats Woodland Nature Reserve and also to the Gib Hill Guardians for the Gib Hill Nature Reserve. We do have an agreed pot, which is there's £15,000 in that, and that's for the different nature reserves. So if you do need some money towards things, then it's definitely worth a look. So yeah, so we've continued to pay into the enhanced countryside access service. So that's run by Pendle Borough Council. This last year actually resulted in an additional 16 projects being completed for Colne that wouldn't have been done otherwise. So we will continue to do that, as obviously it definitely helps the nature reserves and also any of the footpaths and the footways throughout. We've also continued with initiatives such as the free swimming for primary school children, and obviously we have our Treasure Our Town. That is we're a little late in starting this year, so it will be towards the end of the month. However, last year we ran it from April to, I think it was around October, November time. Yeah, so that's just an hour, and we use we go to different locations and basically litter pick and just report any issues that may need reporting to the relative authorities, such like broken gates or graffiti on certain things. So yeah, so we are looking for more volunteers for that. So if you have anyone who wants to do anything like that, then it's worth getting in touch with us. It's only an hour a month, and it does make a big difference. So. The last year it was mentioned about there was higher amount of antisocial behaviour, which was some was in the town, throughout the town, in the play areas, but it was predominantly in Alkincoats Park, I think, last year. Because of this, we worked with the Contact Action Group to do an outreach project in the summer in the park, which I think worked really well. So since that, I can confirm that we had less instances of antisocial behaviour. However, more recently, we have had reports of a makeshift skate park appearing in towards the nature reserve area. I mean, I like that they're using initiative, but it's not the place for, yeah, obviously it's a nature reserve. So, but we will continue, obviously, to work with various parties to try and help reduce this, both in the park and in the town as well. So we've done various commitments throughout the year. We put additional Christmas lights in, so we put a crossroad display at the top of town, also additional tree lights on the buildings and at the top of town, and we actually had a Christmas tree which was in Hartley Square, which we have now added to our contract, which we will continue to bring out every year. We've also invested in the town hall. So we replaced the floor in the function room. We've added acoustic panels to the walls and ceiling to help with the sound quality in there. We've also installed a permanent bar downstairs to help with events and weddings and things like that. And eventually we have replaced the boilers that desperately needed replacing. They were highly inefficient, so hopefully we will see savings from that going forward. We've also put additional cameras as well in the town hall. One thing that we did take on additionally this year was the running of the Convala event. This was mainly due to the volunteers. There was a lack of volunteers basically year on year. They're getting less and less, so the town council did agree to take that on. And I do actually think we have a video of that event. Okay. Okay, I will also add, as I forgot to mention, as part of the antisocial behaviour in Alton Cox Park, we have now added some cameras over the multi-use games area and the play areas, and also put some floodlights in. So there's been Town Council has been the voice of reason at various different consultations held during this year. There's been quite a few this year, I think, going from bus service improvement schemes. There's also a conservation area consultation, a local nature reverse recovery strategy. There was the Pendle local plan came forward, obviously consultations to revisions in the national planning policy framework, which we now have another one of those because they've now amended it again. Yeah, and obviously sort of the main thing that's going on at the moment is local government reorganisation. If you came to last year's meeting, you will know that I spoke about various renovation projects that we were expecting to do this year. There was obviously a rental property, and we were going to do a flat conversion. However, due to the uncertainty that local government reorganisation brings with it, it was decided that really entering into a large borrowing agreement was probably not the best thing to do. So we have completed the renovations to the rental property in-house. And that is very near completion, and we should get someone in there for the summer, so that'd be good. We have replaced the boilers, which because they desperately needed replacing anyway, so we still did that, but we haven't had to borrow to do it, which is a good thing. So various different things have been taken on during the year. One of the main things for me, which turned out to be a lot more than we thought it was going to be, was the town of culture. So this obviously there is a city of culture, which has been going for quite a few years. This is the first time they've actually opened it up to towns to join in with. So we actually thought, obviously, Colin has a lot going for it, and it would be a good thing to do to put in a bid. So we were working closely with the Business Improvement District, Pendle Leisure Trust, Colne Blue Society, Nelson Colne College, and also Pendle Borough Council to put this bid together. It was more work than we anticipated, but the bid's gone in, and we're hopeful that it will produce something great for Colne. Yeah, so I think along with about 90 other town and parish cows, I think every man and his dog wants a piece of this. So, but it would be good if it turns out that we can get some funding for Colne. So we are continuing to make amendments to the development plan. That is to align with the ever-changing national planning policy framework, and also the Pendle local plan. We did have news of the council's consultant that's worked on the plan previously, actually pulled out of helping neighbourhood plans. And this was mainly due to the cancellation of the funding scheme from the government. So we, well, say we, the chairman of the group rallied around trying to find replacements, but to be honest, I think we've got an excellent team now. It's the two Daves, as we call them. One is from locality, and they are the company that actually issued the funding, and I think they're really behind neighbourhood schemes, and so that's they have loads of experience there. And also the other Dave is from a company called Urban Vision, who work on policy frameworks and things like that. So we're in a good place going forward with that. Obviously, we did many other events during the year. One particular that I will mention, and I will ask Simon if you want to say anything. Obviously, we do the Blues Festival every year, and it's the third year now that we've worked with Common Blues Society. We won the award last year for the best UK Blues Festival award, and we've actually gone and won it again for last year's festival, which actually means that we've now won it 3 times. And this basically cements our place in the UK Blues Hall of Fame. So I think congratulations to Simon. Um, I believe we do have a video for that though as well. So I'll put that.
What a weekend. Was from down. The UK.
Um, so yeah, another thing obviously we did, our grounds maintenance contracts have come up for renewal. The grass cutting in the park will continue to be done by Pendleborough Council, and that will be for the next 2 years. We're currently have an opportunity for a project for the gardening in the park, so it's more the flower beds and the looking at the secret garden for ideas and projects for that. So if any of you know anyone who will be interested in that, if you can point them in our direction. So, as part of the tender process this year, we have 2 new contractors in place. So, the play areas will now be done by Furnace Engineering, and the benches and bush shelters by Bradson Construction. So, obviously, as well, last year we added a contingency into the budget element, which was mainly to do with local government reorganisation as well, and whatever that would throw at us. That has actually been further consolidated in we had a very productive year, and we are able to transfer more into reserves to handle anything that it throws at us. So I think we will now be in a good position for whatever whatever we may get. Finally, then, I will just end with showing a video of the mashup of our other events that we hold during the year. Okay, so looking forward to 26-27, there are various different projects that the town council are looking at. We want to put additional CCTV in certain areas. Obviously, we want to consolidate on everything that we've done up to this, and obviously build on that. There's various projects coming through from the Pride in Place funding. One of which is actually the repair and reinstation of the damaged wall at the Secret Garden, which has seen a lot of damage, obviously, over the past year. So hopefully that will be done this summer. Hopefully the Town of Culture will throw a few projects up. And with regards to local government reorganisation, reorganisation, then who knows really. But I think we're in a good position to handle whatever they throw at us. I will finish there.
Thank you, Gina. Anybody any questions? Right, well, the next item is community groups, actually. So it's to receive updates from various different community groups working within Colne on your activities and achievements during the last financial year, and a summary of what you think you're going to be doing next year. You know, some of your dreams, aspirations, and things like that. We have three written papers, and it's about Colne Junior Council and all the things that they've been. And also we've had one in charity as well.
I think that obviously papers are to obviously go, but I think they'll probably want to speak about what they've been doing as well.
Other than the council and is there anybody from any other organisation? Something about what you've been doing. No?
Okay, so this is Stacey. She works at Colne Youth Action.
I'm gonna have to stand up because if I stay facing that way, it's gonna be you're gonna be looking at the back of my head while I speak. So I'm Stacey from Colne Youth Action Group. Thanks for welcoming me in. And I'll talk to you a little bit about what we've been doing at Colne Youth Action Group over the last financial year and what our ambitions are for the future. So in the last 12 months, SEAG has continued its upwards trend with activities now spanning across the week. And it consists of various things such as open access youth clubs, football, hiking, running, and other more targeted activities such as our special educational needs groups. Some highlights of this are we have grown our team as well. We've got myself, who's a full-time senior youth worker. We've now got 2 part-time youth support workers and a part-time site supervisor on our staff team. We've also recruited and retained 14 inspirational and fantastic volunteers. And SEAG would not be able to run its daily activities without them. They are honestly the best people in the world. Some of them are basically doing full-time jobs for free for us at SEAG, which I'm so grateful for. We also have a team of 5 casual support workers who do staff our incredibly ever popular holiday clubs. Completely oversubscribed. The waiting list is so big we can't contain them all, but we do the best that we can. So in terms of our core programme of activities and memberships, we see approximately 150 unique members at our activities each week, with attendances averaging at about 800 per month at these activities, which is quite large. We've grown a lot. In a single week, we could serve approximately 220 hot and nutritious meals to our young people, which equates to 11,440 meals a year. And that's not including our holiday clubs, where we provide meals as well. 45.6% of our members are girls and 52.8% are boys, and we have 1.6% that identify as some other. We have 8.4% aged 10, 30.8% aged 11 to 13, and 29.2% are aged 14 to 15, and 16.4% are 16. And I do think we are quite unique in attracting some of those older members to our group. That's kind of what we specialise in, working with those older young people. Much of our membership comes from the Farnborough Bridge area, and it's closely followed by Bolesworth and Fulridge, and then by Waterside and Horsefield. And the rest of our members live out of area, but they do go to school within our catchment area. Our biggest feeder school is Colne Park High School, and that's followed by Colne Primate Academy, Colne Park Primary, and then I just call it Fisher Moor, but it's SS John Fisher and Thomas Moore. Sarah would correct me probably for saying it incorrectly. So yeah, we run activities back to back Mondays, Tuesdays and Wednesdays. We have our football at Fisher Moor on Friday, and we do hiking and park run on a Saturday as well, if that wasn't enough. We ran our first ever residential programme last summer at Rookhow Residential Retreat. Don't know if anybody's been there, but it's absolutely glorious. You could probably take your whole family there and it would be a wonderful holiday. But our young people absolutely love it. We've already delivered our junior residential trip this year, and we are currently recruiting for our senior residential trips. That'll be young people aged 14 to 16 for that one. We ran 2 outreach projects over summer last year. We've already spoke about one, which was at Alkin Courts Park, which was quite successful. And that was to deliver 12 weeks of youth engagement on the park, providing diversionary activities and just sort of trying to engage them into some of our wider activities. We did Off the Grid, which was funded by the Lancashire Police and Crime Commissioner, and this was for young people at risk of criminality and or social exclusion. They were referred into a series of 12 different trips, which included going to the beach, forest school, museums and different walks, and they were well received and they produced some really interesting statistics as well. Sorry, I feel like I'm talking an awful lot. 10.2% reported improved overall well-being. There was a significant reduction in the appeal of ASB for these particular young people, with 32.5% of them indicating that ASB was fun or exciting at the start of the project, but 0% post-project thought that was fun anymore, so that was really positive. 12.5% of them reported feeling safer in their local area, and a 46% increase in young people feeling a sense of belonging within their community throughout the project. We also received a grant from the National Lottery to continue running our members-only holiday programmes, because we found there was a gap between our HAP provision, which was for school young people on school meals, but young working families who have children are also struggling to get the young people into childcare, so we wanted to offer something for those. We began our Weekend Wanderers project, where young people go hiking over hill and dale each Saturday, getting lots of fresh air and exercise and the ability to enjoy the countryside. We started a running club where we do park run, but now they are also doing more ambitious runs, such as 10 kilometres over, quite rugged terrain. It's usually trail runs. We launched our Send group for those young people who struggle to access our bit larger groups. They were dropping off a little bit, so we started a Send group, and that's been largely successful. We now have a partnership with Lancashire Mind and are one of 6 children and young people's hubs aimed at wellbeing and mental health support for young people. That's been really, really well received, and we've had some really positive results from that. We continue to provide the holiday activities with food programme and are increasingly oversubscribed and well known as one of the most popular HAP programmes in Pendle. We also launched the Sound House. It's a music project led by Chris Pearson and Jay Stansfield. They've created several pieces of original music, performed at various events, and have even secured a spot at Collins Rhythm and Blues Festival. So they're very, very proud of that achievement. We recently facilitated several workshops for young people, volunteers and trustees to develop SEAG's future strategy, with young people asking for nothing but more of the same of what we already do. It was incredibly encouraging, but the only thing they wanted extra was another minibus to pair with Kermit, our beloved Kermit, and they want to call it Miss Piggy. So I think we need to find a pink minibus. We have maintained consecutive 5-star food hygiene ratings and are proud holders of the Bronze, Silver and Gold Recipe for Health Awards. I'm sure there's a million more things, but I didn't have enough paper and I didn't want to bore you forever. So our ambitions going forward, I guess, are securing long-term funding to keep SEAG sustainable in terms of our core costs and ambitions for the future, now that the game-changing UK SPF support has now ended. We'd like to secure funding to become a local music hub with a dedicated recording studio and rehearsal space that will benefit the whole community and not just SEAG. Continue to grow our outdoor education offer, making full use of our facilities, not just at SEAG, but at our woodland area, the Woodland Oasis in Wycollar as well. Develop and finalise our long-term strategy in partnership with stakeholders, and continue to build our partnerships and enhance our offer for the young people of Colne and the surrounding villages. I made my video too long. I'd finished before it. Has anybody got any questions? I think that's it from me.
Thank you. Anyone else to share anything?
I think Sarah's been nominated to give the update for Colne Junior Council.
Cone Junior Council. First of all, we would like to apologise for not being able to attend the meeting tonight. Many of us are in year 6, and this week we are completing our SATs in school. Mrs Coburn-Price kindly agreed to read out a summary of our work. This school academic year, Cone Junior Council have been set a head teacher's challenge. Did you know that Pendle has the highest rate of child food poverty in the UK? Did you know that 200 billion aluminium cans are used every year? Did you know that aluminium can be collected and then sold and money raised? This year, we are working hard to care for Cone and in doing so, raise money for the Junior Council's chosen charity, Cone Open Door. We have established a Cans for Cash scheme across the 5 schools that make up the Junior Council: Christchurch, Trawden Forest, West Street, Park Primary, and this academic year, Primmet Primary, who have joined the council too. Our aim is to collect a tonne of aluminium that can be weighed and sold. Suez Recycling and Recovery have agreed to support us with this, and on the 12th of June, they will collect our cans. We will turn people's trash into cash. We will give the proceeds to Cone Open Door, who we know will put the money to good use in providing much needed support for families in our community. We have worked hard promoting the scheme and have been learning about recycling. Tuba Amjad, Pendle Borough Council's recycling officer, came to one of our meetings to explain the importance of the new food waste recycling scheme that came into force across the borough in April. We then saw firsthand how all of our waste is recycled by visiting Ecotown in Farringdon Waste Recovery Park in Leyland. This experience, which was kindly supported by a donation of £600 from Cone Town Council, enabled us to discover how everyday household waste can be transformed into valuable resources and even renewable energy. That is what our food waste will produce through a process called anaerobic digestion. Pendle Borough Council have also organised for Dennis to the Rescue mobile classroom to visit Cone, where children from each of our schools can learn even more about recycling and becoming more sustainable. Our work has inspired others to join us, and at our last meeting, we agreed that Lord Street Primary would join the council from September 2027. We would like to thank Mrs Coburn-Price, feels a bit weird this. We would like to thank Mrs Coburn-Price and Mrs Langley for their support with Cone Junior Council.
Thank you, Sarah. Can I just ask, which organisations that the other people here do you support? I know you support anybody? Do you support anybody?
No, I'm here on good health of curiosity. I'm chairman of Scotland Cultural Society.
Right, thank you.
Quite a few people already know me. They say we are looking for new members.
Wait, don't.
You're right, we won't be able to hear it.
New members.
Hello everybody. So I'm chairman of Scotland Cultural Society, John. I'm also involved with School, Speaker Engagement Officer, the Stroke Association as a volunteer as well. So I'm quite busy with quite a few things. And so Cultural Society, we are really struggling for new members to keep the society going. I'm really ready to step up after all these years, because we've got to look at the young ones now coming on our organisations with different ideas, how we do things, and technology's changing a lot of things into it really when you look at it, and we've got to embrace it, or else we won't get involved at all. Lots of other things. The technical section, it's getting and there's a technical section. So, Mr. to be cotton. I think maybe for 20 years now. studying it. You know, trying to organize it. It's a big show. And you know, and all the damn things. It really is. So it is important. Volunteers in different groups. You look at it and it is difficult, I'm sure. I've experienced of it, you know, in whatever you're doing and things like that. So that's my message, you know, let's have a look at getting down to us. And say, meeting this week. And I set up workshops as well on different levels and get involved maybe work with somebody tonight, you know, so what we can do with you know, make it more valuable and things like that.
Okay.
So that's my little bit. Thank you very much for listening.
John,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else?
Just so you all know, I'm not prepared for this because Hayley asked me to step in. So,
All right.
okay, I'll just come. She's like, you just have to listen. So I'm assistant centre manager at Con City Dell. I've been with them for 3 years. So last year we was granted national lottery funding, not just for 3 years, but for 4, which was such a relief in sense of because we didn't know what was going to happen. As we carried on into the year, the counselling referrals started getting escalated extremely higher. Mental health teams are contacting us, the GPs, doctors, even down from Bradford. GPs in Bradford have contacted us asking us to refer in. Unfortunately, we got to a point of we do only have 16 counsellors who volunteer hours. Luckily, we do have now qualified counsellors who are opting in to listen just to try and lift the referrals a little bit down. Unfortunately, we did have to put a cap on. We got up, we was literally maxing around 8 months waiting, where normally we could range up to 8 weeks, 12 weeks at a push, but it was looking at 8 months. So we did put that cap on. That was only March, so it has come down now like drastically with working with new counsellors, volunteers. Again, counsellors opting to offer the time back what they've done for us volunteering wise as well. Our volunteering, again, as we've just been speaking about, we are kind of getting to a point that we're beginning to struggle a little bit with the volunteering side. So we are asking for people to come and give us a hand. We do run groups, so we'll have like arts and crafts on a Monday. It's just changed recently, so just bear with me. On a Tuesday, we do a bingo that is always at full capacity. Always, it's like they come in and they go, they even asked us to do a ticket. So when they come in and got a ticket, they could sit in the cafe and wait for the place. It was getting that much. So we have actually put a new one in for a Thursday, every alternate Thursday. So that just kind of bears it up for them as well. Wednesday, we have a gentleman who comes in. He helps people with anything technology-wise. If it's just down to phones, laptops, even down to booking appointments, he will help people do that. The mental health team come in as well every Wednesday. Thursday, we haven't started it just yet. We did try Knit and Natter. Didn't really set off a little bit, but set off. So we've changed it to a quiz day. So that's really good. For Fridays again, we have, I think off the top of my head on Friday. Pilates, that's a new one as well. Pilates and movements, and then a Natter Shack, and that's for everyone to join in. We still do that men's peer group. That's on a Thursday night. That's running really, really well. We have drummers on a drumming activity on a Wednesday evening as well. So again, low cost cafe. We've had somebody come in today actually that made me really proud. She's like, I can't believe what I've just paid. I've just paid for 2 people. I pay that normally for 1 person, I swear. So it's keeping it down. Unfortunately, there's no longer the food bank at present. We are working at bringing that back through, hopefully by next week. Back with Aldi being a surplus, that was only ended due to people picking it up. Asda, we're now getting a little bit of surplus from Asda. So yeah, it's going really well. We were a part of the Compub Walk the other week. That's actually, I think it went up, 5,100 was actually raised. Originally, we only booked for, the first year we did it, we were looking about 30 people. around 70 people come. This year we sold 205 and plenty more people actually wanted to jump on. So it was such a good day, really were. So people brought their animals, things like that. So it was a really good day, a mixture of people that actually come from from Burnley area, some moving down from Skipton. So it's just again bringing together. But with that was with Colin Up and Door, Walk and Talk, and obviously ourselves and Anissa as well were part of it. But that has actually gone really well. We did have a major flood in October, extremely bad flood. We had to shut for quite some times. Anyway, luckily we reopened. It was quite quiet originally. It's been a bit steady away, but we have noticed we're starting to pick up a little bit more. Like even with the weather today, it was chock-a-block downstairs. So that was really good to see. But yeah, so we're just looking now at trying to get obviously the waiting list for the counselling back open. We've people are wanting to do room hire, rental. If they've got any more thoughts of activity choices, anything they want to do. We had a gentleman actually, it sounds thingy, asked us to run a menopause group. So we are looking maybe just a one-off, just so because he couldn't understand it. So we will be looking into branching out for the ELHT. So yeah, I'm not prepared today. I do apologise. That's just rolled off my tongue. But yeah, so we're just looking now at hopefully steadying away. Hopefully, we have spoke about possibility of maybe trying to extend the times so we can get them counsellors in for an extra hour to 30 minutes to an hour. But again, that's just all in the waiting list because we're just trying to get over the flood and just try and get back to normal with everything. It's been so hard work. But yeah, is anyone any questions?
No, I think you're doing really well.
Well, I'm at my lunch.
You let me know a little bit late tomorrow.
Right, okay. Don't you worry, she will get a text message when I'll leave here. So I'll inform her of that. But yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
Yeah. I think, yeah.
Good evening, my name's Simon. I'm the chairman of the Alpha Courts Woodland Nature Reserve Group, and I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank Cold Town Council for the financial support they've given us over the years, and various councillors have been very proactive in helping us out. The big news this year is that we've finally been granted nature reserve status for the whole of the reserve. Over the last 10 years, Pendle Borough Council have been giving us extra pockets of lands, which is more than double the size of the existing reserve. So I'm estimating it's gone from about 30 acres to about probably about 50 acres now. And what we've been trying to do is create different environments over the woodland. So we're trying to create a wetland, hay meadow, and we had a lake. We've had a lake dug. We're planting a lot of wildflower seeds. Oh, yeah. Well, yes, the lake's attracting. It's been counted 15 different species of dragonfly and damselflies. So, so hopefully, all the big projects have completed, and we're now moving on to trying to do the best to maintain the original woodland. We've just started employing tree surgeons to take a lot of the dead ash trees down, which is going to be a very big job and a long job because there's thousands in there. So, yep. So that's about it. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else want to share anything? Well, come on then.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, so my name's David Foten. I'm here tonight as Secretary of Gibb Hill, the new nature reserve on the boundary between Nelson and Colne. And I can say we've got off to a very good start, really. It's brilliant that this parcel of land has been given over as a nature reserve now, after years of people campaigning for it. And we're very grateful to Colne Town Council for assisting us financially. It's been a bit of a slow start because we wanted to get everybody involved on board, and we weren't wanting to be too aggressive and damaging to the actual land. So this first year, all we've done is put in some vehicle access points across some of the drainage channels, and people seem to be quite happy with them. They've gone quite well. So we'll be doing some more of those this year, making sure that we can get access to all the fields. It's Gib Hill. It's on a hill, and there's lots of drainage channels on it, and there's lots of hedges. Not many dry stone walls. I don't know where all the dry stone went. Maybe it was carried up by ancient Britons to build the fort at the top, or it's gone somewhere else. But there's lots of hedges. So the idea is once we get the access to the fields, is to mow the grass, and that will help reduce the fertility of the pastures to facilitate more indigenous species coming in. So we're on with that. And of course, all that costs money. We're not going to have the hay taken away. We're just going to take it to the side of the fields. And then people have been complaining who come along in the middle of winter when it's been raining and the hillside's saturated, saying that the paths are too muddy. So we're going to have to do some footpath improvements as well. So that's on the cards. We've been engaging with the local schools. They all seem to be quite happy to participate. There's a couple regularly doing litter picks. I think Primmett Primary and Pendle Vale, and Fisher Moor. Yeah, thank you. Sarah, with one of her hats, is our schools coordinator, which we're very grateful for. And Fisher Moor, we did have a site meeting with the new head, and he's granted our permission to use an existing footpath, a sort of a footpath that is evolved, so we can use that and as access to the nature reserve from the Briarcliff Avenue entrance. So we'll be working with Fisher Moor and the new head to enhance that. But although it's not actually, it's on the school land, so that should be going ahead. We've been removing old fencing. A couple of us have been working on that. Volunteers have been coming to plant more hedging where the hedging has been depleted, and that's been very successful. I don't know exactly the number of whips that have been planted, but it's quite a lot. It's hundreds. Now you've got to protect them up there, because if you don't, the deer come in and start eating them. So it's quite a lengthy process to do that, but it's worth it. We have when we run out of protective bits of plastic, we have been planting a few, and some of them are surviving, but others, like willow, seem to be quite popular with the deer, so they're being nibbled away. What else? Information boards. We haven't got any information boards up yet. We've decided we're going to put some small ones at each entrance saying welcome, and directing them to the website which we've got. So there's a Gib Hill website. If you Google that, you'll be able to see our website and all about the management and what we're planning on doing. And all this is costing money, so we've got a management committee prioritising what we're doing. And so we've got plenty to do going forward. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much, David. Yeah. I think Councillor Hart wanted to ask a question. No? Oh, well, Councillor.
Yeah, you've got down here. Sorry, Councillor Hannahwood. You've got down here that you're looking to try and get an access route into the park, into the reserve from Marsden Hall Road. How soon is this likely to be achieved?
Right. Well, in a synchronised manner. It's already on. It's already on. In a synchronised manner, our chairman is currently Nelson Town Council, where that is probably going to be discussed. But yeah, we've taken down a lot of the old fencing around where the community centre was on the Nelson side, and a lot of a section of the barbed wire stock fencing on the inner side of that woodland. So it's quite an extensive woodland over there, which is quite well developed, as well as the pastures on this side. There's quite a well developed woodland there with a lot of woodland plants. So there's already pathways through the wood, which are quite well used, and young people go into the woods and into the pastures to socialize and things. So we're wanting to encourage that, I think. So that's on the Nelson side, and of course, one of the great difficulties is getting Nelson Town Council and Colne Town Council to cooperate instead of being in competition.
And I know that obviously because of it's the highway, will you be involved in LCC because of the fact that you're coming off Marsden Hall Road, which is part of Lancashire County Council property, to build part of the roadway into the park for vehicular access.
Well, there's quite a few paths off the end of Marsden Hall Road. I am thinking about the one down to where the old community centre was, but the actual path that people use now is a bit further down. It goes off. I think it must be. It's either Lancashire County Council land or Housing Together land, or Nelson Town Council land. I'm not quite sure. I think it's. Housing Together Housing. So, but that path at the moment that goes through another drainage channel, which has been culverted. So I think there's no problem with Lancashire highways. The upper little access road from Gibb Hill Road, that's a private road as well. So it's not highways. It's not a highways problem. It's just a. And then we've got the old Marsden golf course above that, which is currently being mothballed. So we've stated our interest that if that becomes available for rewilding, we'll be quite happy to take that on. We don't want to see housing on it if we can avoid that. So we'll be quite happy for that. It's a lovely bit of landscape, and that would go all the way up to Castercliff Fort, and other areas of scientific interest. That other valley at the top. So we're hopeful about that. At least part of the old golf course would come our way, and we're ready for that if it's offered. So fingers crossed.
Thank you, David. Thank you.
Right, thank you.
Is a lady up Yeah.
Right. Just a few words on budget and beyond, what our years have been like. Pendle local plan was mentioned. So that was obviously approved, examined and everything. And one of the things in that was the making of another green space. Load of green spaces around Pendle. But the one we're interested in was the Upper Rough. Now, the Upper Rough was in the Colne neighbourhood plan for many years, but obviously was held over just in case it was needed for housing. Thankfully, the housing targets were met by the Pendle local plan, and therefore the Upper Rough is free to become a green space. So that's excellent news. We can hear it from our garden, where the curlews have gone absolutely mad. They're all sort of foraging and nesting and breeding and birthing and all that sort of thing. So they're all over the place, the curlews. So you want to trip to East Cone and hear the curlews and their wonderful cries. The landowner of the Upper Rough, though, has decided to build fences everywhere. So he's fenced off all the footpaths with really quite nasty looking fences. I suppose you could say the byproduct is that it actually makes it better for the curlews. Because obviously you've not got people wandering across the fields and dogs doing everything and that sort of thing. So it's actually turned out quite nicely really for the curlews. But we're going to keep an eye on the footpaths because we think a few of them are a bit too narrow, a few of them a bit boggy as well. So the Pendle Borough Council footpath officers already agreed to get some stone put down there. So a bit like the fun and game at Alkincoats and other places where footpaths have to be looked after. The other green space we have in our area in East Cone is the Lidget Triangle. That was already made a green space. That's now in private hands, and the owner and some local residents have been really looking after that and loving it, getting rid of some indigenous horrible weeds, doing some walling projects and the like. So that's come back to life as a real wildlife haven, and there are public footpaths across that. On the subject of public footpaths, a few years back, Cone Town Council was one of the contributing parties to the East Cone Way, which is a nice, gentle 5-mile circular walk, now fully recognised as a public right-of-way. So if you fancy a nice wander in a circle to look at countryside, history, etc., we've got leaflets on that, and there's stuff you can download online for that. The one we've been working hard on for the last couple of years or so, which we're now in the final stages of, is the Cone Boundary Walk. This is for the fitter people. So this is 13.5 miles and basically goes all the way around the almost like the parish boundary of Cone. So it follows it as far as possible, as closely as possible. So you get lots of footpaths, you get lots of bits of roads on it and whatever. And you get that tour of all the history and all the countryside. Lots of countryside stuff going on here. So you get to wander by Alkincoats. You also get through Gib Hill as well. You get to see Cowster Cliff, etc. So all that's there. It's broken down into smaller, more manageable parts. If you see these little yellow signs, they're the way markers that are on all the various posts and gates and things. So I'll leave a bunch here, so please feel free to take some and give them away. Now, the only blot on the horizon, quite literally, is the Calderdale Wind Farm. So who knows about this? Okay, so this is a plan. It was originally 68 wind turbines on Walshaw Moor, which is the southeast of Cone. It was then, after an initial scoping report in 2022 and 23, reduced to 40 odd, and now it's down to 34. Now those 34 turbines are taller than Blackpool Tower. The blades on a normal wind turbine are 60 metres. These ones are 80 metres. So can you imagine transporting something that's 80 metres long, not very flexible? It's going to go from the M65. The preferred route is now chosen as the Cone-Lancashire Bridge route, not the Halifax route or anything like that. So that means that all the nacelles and blades for these wind turbines will come along the M65, go along North Valley and make their way somehow across that Lidget roundabout, straight across it, and then down Keithley Road into Lancashire Bridge and turn right across a brand new road which has trashed all the peat. Never mind the fact that the wind turbines themselves are trashing all the peat and the curlews and the heritage. Brontes are turning in their grave. Yes, Mary.
I don't want to stop you, but I mean, we haven't discussed that in this council. I don't know. I haven't got any decisions of what the Cone Town Council might think.
Yes, so
we might think something.
basically, there is this is mentioned beyond the right. So there's a deadline for a statutory consultation on the 10th of June, and everyone is encouraged to respond to it. It's basically one of those reports that's got preliminary this, draft that. We need to do a bit more work on this, says the applicant. So essentially, it's a half-baked consultation, and that's the sort of message we need to be giving, really. So Lidget and Beyond will be writing a response. We'll contact all our members to do that. I know it's on the agenda for Cone Town Council to do as well, and we're working on a response from Cone Town Council as well. So that's the blot on the horizon. Thank you.
Anybody else? Roger, you want to say anything? No? No.
Well, I think, like everybody else, we all need more volunteers for every project
Mm.
we're doing. And I've gone in blue at Millennium, Elizabeth King. You all heard what I said. Yeah, very good. Yeah, and what you're doing, well, young ones appreciate that we're doing here volunteers. Yeah, and bring them up, you know, looking after the countryside and themselves as well. Yeah, brilliant. You're doing a good job. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's so it's Colin in Bloom, volunteers,
And
and then the
great
as well. Yeah,
little bit
and little
down the waterside.
yeah, right. Waterside Action Group.
Action group. Yeah,
Need
that's right.
volunteers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Whilst we're talking about Waterside, actually, I do need to mention something that will be happening on Sunday, the 31st of May. We are doing, Jeff Freeman of the town, Jeff Cranby, is doing another one of his tours. We're calling this Walk on the Wild Side. So people are meeting, it's all about the Waterside area. So people are meeting at the Duke of Lancaster at 10:30 on the 31st of May. So
I mean, that's really interesting things. Is there anything anybody else wants to ask the council? No? Well, I think Annabelle wants to speak.
I've been listening to a lot of things that have been mentioned, especially about volunteers. 2 years ago, I took on the role of the Poppy Appeal organiser for the British Legion. And I'd just like to say that last year for the people who volunteered and all those that donated, in Colne raised £32,000, just over. But this is where we need it's the good spirit of people in Colne. But like I say, one thing everybody needs is volunteers, because I know I need volunteers for the collection period. We need volunteers for the Treasure Our Town, the Colne Horticultural. If people are listening, a volunteer is worth the weight in gold, no matter what happens. And I hope that people, if they're not watching this at home, they do watch it again later on. And if they've got some time, please just get in touch with somebody and say, I'd like to volunteer half an hour, That's me, thank you.
Well said. Anybody else has a hand at the back there who put a hand up? You don't want to say anything? Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Right.
I will just say, if anyone wants to stay on, have a chat, have a brew, we do have free pie and peas available for everybody. So.
Right, and I'll just activate this date and time of the next regular meeting. That will be held sometime in between March and June 2027. We don't know any dates yet. Because of the local government reorganisation, it'll be a bit fluid, let's say. So can I thank you all for coming? Thank you. And it's been really interesting to see all the people, these organisations that are working really hard in Colne. And it's not about making money, it's about doing good for the public, and we will need more volunteers. But thank you very much. Thank you. Okay.